Hi everybody, it's Cathryn from In the Pink Designs. My project today, I just had to do another Christmas one. I do a Christmas one every year with some people call these nips. We just called them in New York mini liquor bottles. I used the Celebrate with Tag stamp set along with the Celebrations tag dies and the rectangle stitch dies, and also the real red and white glimmer paper. Alrighty, and the DSP is the Sweetest Christmas Designer Series paper, which is sold out. I think the glimmer paper is too, but if you have something similar. The box measures 5.5 by 2 1/4 by 1 3/4, so it will fit other things in it. It doesn't have to be adult liquor. Alrighty, so what we need for this project is a piece of real red cardstock that is 8.5 by 8 1/4, 2 pieces of the Sweetest Christmas DSP that are 2 by 5 1/4, a stitched rectangle out of the real red glimmer paper that is about 3 1/4 by 1 1/4. So if you don't have the stitched rectangle dies, that's what that is. We need some basic white for stamping. And from the Celebrations tags dies, I cut 2 of the snowflakes out of the white glimmer paper. Alrighty, and I cut the tag also with a Celebrations tag die. Okie doke, so this is my host code. If you're going to spend anything under $150, please put that in, and I can send you a little thank you gift with the Stampin' Rewards I can put together. So let me get my Simply Scored, and we're going to start on the 8.5 inch side. We're going to start at 1/2, then 2 3/4, 4.5, and 6 3/4. Now we turn it to the 8 1/4 inch side, and we're going to score at 1 3/4. Then we want to flip our paper over so that the bumps are on the top, the bumps we made of the scores, and we're going to score at 7 1/4, because this is this top here that we're going to flip backwards. And I didn't do that on these, and if you notice, it gets a little raggedy up there, so I definitely wanted to flip it the other way so that it bends easier and cleaner. Alrighty. Now I'm just going to fold and burnish all the score lines. Just remember that this top 1 inch piece is going to go the opposite direction from the rest. Okay, so how we're going to do this is the skinniest rectangle is going to be on the left hand side, and there is a 1 inch strip on the top. Alrighty, and this is what we're going to be doing. Okay, so let's start on the bottom left. We're going to go to the first score line and cut it to the first score line, then wedge up into that rectangle above it. Okay, go to the next score line, cut it to the first score line, next score line, cut it to the first score line, and then this piece in the middle, we're going to wedge each side of the square. Okay, next score line, cut it to the first score line, and then wedge these sides of the square here. Okay, so that's the bottom. Then we're going to turn it over, and this will be our top. Okay, so we're going to go to the first score line, cut it to the first score line, and then get rid of this piece. Okay, we're going to leave this piece alone here. So we're going to go to the next score line, cut it to the first score line, next score line, cut it to the first score line, and then we're going to be taking this middle piece off. Okay. I'm going to leave this next piece alone, so go to the next score line, cut it to the first score line, and then wedge up into that skinny rectangle. All right, and this is what your cardstock should look like after you're done scoring it and cutting it. Okay, Now we're going to get a piece of tearing tape, and we're going to put it on what's left of the skinniest rectangle next to the score line. Then I'm going to take your pick tool and get the backing off of the tape. Okay, then we're going to flip the whole thing over, flip the piece that has the tape, and flip the other side to meet it. Okay, so now this is the back of our box. So we're going to put the sides in, but I'm going to put a little bit of liquid glue on them so they don't stick up. There. There. Then I'm going to put my back on, and I'm going to put glue on the back of the front flap. Just let it set a second. Then flip it over. And you want to use your bone folder, or you take your pick tool and really push it down so that it adheres. Make sure everything's nice and straight on the sides. Okay. Now we're going to put our Designer Series paper on. So we have two pieces that are 2 by 5 1/4. And we're going to put them on with liquid glue on the front and the back. And now we're going to glue down our tops right over the DSP. Now I'm just going to leave this to dry a minute, and we'll just stamp our greeting, which just says "Be Jolly." And I'm going to use real red ink. Okie doke. And then I'm going to use this die from the Celebrations Tag dies. Sorry. I'm just going to line it up, and I will cut it, and I'll be right back. Alrighty. Now we're going to put our, this is Smirnoff Pineapple Vodka. Okay, I'm going to put it in there, and if you notice, there's a bunch of room. First, because we have to squeeze it, so it's going to lose a bit. But also because some of them are wider. If you get the small liquor bottles, some of them are short and wide. Some of them are tall, but then they have a bulb on the bottom. So I know the moonshine ones are like a little mason jar. So almost everything should fit in here, I think. All right, and you can put a little grass in there, but if you notice, when we squeeze it together at the top, it doesn't really move a lot. You could also put a few candy canes in the sides or kisses or something if you wanted to, too. All right, now, I don't know what happened to my crocodile, so I'm going to have to do this the hard way. I looked all over and I can't find it. Someone might have borrowed it to do their belt. All right, so that's the back. It's going to be, I'm going to put 2 holes in here. Oh, I went right through all of it. Okay. And then you can, if you want to put, you can just eyeball it if you don't want to do this, but you can put little marks through. And then, well, it's kind of hard to see that. So I'm just going to turn it around and guesstimate again on the back. The ribbon will still close it if they're not exactly right. Alrighty, and this is a 1/8 inch hole punch. On this one I used a 1/4 inch, so you can use whatever you like. Alright. Okay, where did I put? Here it is. Okay. Alright, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to get some glittered organdy ribbon, and I'm going to put it through the holes. The sides might kind of get in the way, but don't worry about it because the ribbon will go around the sides when I pull it. So I'm going to put it in through the front, out through the back, and then the opposite. Okay, and then we're going to squeeze it together and tie a bow. See? Okay, before we tie the bow, let's use the same hole punch, and I'm going to put a little circle hole in the beginning of the Be Jolly. Okay, and then I'm going to take that right side and I'm going to feed my label on with my greeting on it right up to the edge. Okay, then I'm going to tie a bow. Now, before we put our decorations on, now I cut, again, these two, it's from the Celebrations tag dies right here. I cut 2 out of the white Glimmer paper, and this is from the rectangle stitch dies, and it is 3 1/4 by 1 1/4. Okay, and I'm just going to glue these on. You can use the sponging technique again if you want to. I'm just going to try to put it on. I'm going to put one towards the top. And I get a tissue for anything that squeezes out. We really can't tell because of the glimmer of the paper. It doesn't really show if you got a little glue on it. Okay, I'm going to put the other one down here. Make sure it all gets down. Okay. And then I'm going to get some dimensionals. You can glue it straight on if you wanted to too. And I'm going to put, just because it bends, I'm going to put 2 on the top, 2 on the bottom, and 1 in the middle. Right, and then I'm just going to center this right there. Up. I'm going to give this a little curl. Alrighty. This one's pretty quick and easy, so if you want to get a bunch of little liquor bottles for your friends or your office mates that have a little cocktail now and then, it's really quick. You use 1 sheet of DSP, but you can get quite a few out of, no, 1 sheet of cardstock, sorry, but you'll get quite a few of the DSP because it's just 1 strip. Alright, now for the final touch, I'm going to use some matte black dots. I might take your pick tool, and I'm just going to put them right in the middle, the larger ones, right in the middle of the snowflakes. I just like that accent of black in there. I think looks really elegant and holiday-ish. Alrighty, if you have any questions, my email is below. Also below is the link to my shop, which you can buy some of these products, and the link to my blog, which has all of the measurements. Now, I would love for you to join my team, but it's really, there's a very good promotion coming up in the beginning of the year in January. So if you wanted to join my team, I would hold off until then because you'll get some special offers. Alrighty? Okay. Please subscribe and hit the like button, and I will see you next time. Have a great day. Bye.